Hello, this is Dr. Melody Harris Barrow. I want to thank everyone for tuning into my shows. I want to thank God, first of all, for blessing me, for guiding me, for leading me. I want to thank God for teaching me how to be obedient, how to respect myself, and how to believe in myself, and of course, God. There is a young lady that called me Karen. Karen, I want you to know, Karen Kicks, I want you to know that you asked me to speak to the ladies in your group. And I decided to do that. I told everyone to go to Women Celebrating Each Other. But at the last minute, I've decided that I am going to make this public. This was for only women. But I realized that all women need this. This was a private chat. And I want to share so many things with you. I just finished a show on a relationship with God with two queens. And I want to share my experience, and I want to uplift women around the world because I'm a woman and I know a lot of women today are going through so much. And I know many that are falling apart at this time, don't know where to go, don't know what to do. Tomorrow I have a show on human trafficking, the human trafficking and the inhumane treatment of Nigerian women and women around the world. Women are being abused worse than ever before. I was reading about human trafficking, and I was so saddened of all the things that I'm reading. Tomorrow, we're going to have that show at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. But I'm here to empower women. It's time now that you rise. I said that in my other show. I want you to manage your life as though you're managing a business. I want you to manage your surroundings as though you're managing a business. I have been through so much in my life. All I've been doing back then was taking and taking and taking. I've been through mental abuse. A lot of you don't know my story, women. But when you see me today and the way I am today, it is because I decided that I no longer want to be mentally abused. I no longer want anyone controlling my mind. And that goes for man, that goes for society, and that goes for everything else. God gave me a mind, and He gave you a mind to think. But you have been so controlled mentally, right, that you can't even think anymore. Women, I don't want you to fall apart anymore because I need you. I cannot do this alone. I want us to begin to celebrate each other because that is something that we don't do. We are so busy criticizing each other as women. We are so busy tearing each other down as women when we should be holding hands and walking through that path of misery together to make it right. But we are so busy trying to destroy what God has created. God created you. He created a woman that can stand and that can build and create. This is the time now when we have to work together, because if we don't, we're going to lose ourselves. We think oftentimes about success, but we really don't understand what success is. You are already success without doing anything, because you are a woman that God created. From the time you were born, you are powerful. But each birth, man has always trying to destroy what God created from young. Destroy the mind and also destroy what he built and created. I need women to have the courage. I need you to have more than what men are telling you that you can do. Remember, we are superwomen. We wake up, we take care of our children, we cook, we go to work, we come back, same routine. Don't tell me what we cannot do. We are great. There are women out there that were warriors in the African kingdom. So are you. If they could do it then, we can do it now. You are powerful people. Let the world know who you are. I know there's a lot of human trafficking today, and there are women out there that are suffering. But what I don't want you to do right now is to fall apart. Those women that came back from human trafficking, back home, I don't want you to fall apart. I need you to be strong now. Women that don't have a job at this time, I don't want you to fall apart. I need you to be strong. You've been strong all this time. You can be strong now. Men, we need you. Men, we need you. We need you to support us as women. You know, there are men that will say to my husband, my papi, they will say, how can you handle her? She's very aggressive. And they tell him all this, but the reality of it is, this is what God created. And his answers, always it takes a man to be with a woman like her. We can no longer afford women to fight with each other. We can't afford that anymore. Time now have changed. The time have changed. The time have changed to the point where we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice in this world to be busy talking about one another and trying to destroy one another. The key is is that we need to be in God's kingdom. We need to listen to God more often. And when a woman comes to me and she says she needs help, I'm going to give it to her. No woman can ever say, or no man can ever say, when they knock this door and they ask for help, I deny them. No one. Have the courage today. I just mentioned about my illness on my other show. And I have to say that I thought I was going to die. But for some reason, I had this courage that I know God gave me, and this spirit of resilience, a spirit where I know was with me from before birth. You see, when you talk about history, you have to talk about before birth, not the history of man, but the history between you and God. And that history, I had to go back during the 9 years that I was ill. And I realized that God has given me all the tools that I need in order to succeed in a world that He created. Because if He hadn't given me those tools, I wouldn't be here today. So when we talk about working with each other, it is not for your own gain, but for humanity. When we talk about humanity, there's something in me I just feel as though that I don't have a choice to do what I am doing even this minute. I want women to be strong. I need you to be strong, and I'm going to keep saying that. You have to be in a place today where God can work with you. You have to be in a place today where you yourself have to define. Because we cannot go and continue to be in the situation that we're in today. And let me tell you a little story. And most Americans know this story. You always talk about the crabs in a barrel. But let me just share this with you. The crabs in the barrel, I asked myself, who put them in the barrel? Who placed them there? Who does the barrel belong to? Who does it belong to? And of course, they're in a place that they should not be. So when you see them climbing on top of each other, is because that is not their environment. They were placed there. So women, let's take charge of our lives. Let's take charge of our minds. Let us reset our mind. Because if we don't, we will be destroyed. Look at the world. Look at the world. Women are being used like animals. Women are being sex objects for centuries. Women are being sold for sex. Women are being destroyed by men. We have to stop this. And the same way I am going to say is that if we are protesting around the world now and protesting for our rights, I want to say that men that stay silent and watch another man abuse a woman, he's equally guilty. It is time for men, good men, to rise with women that needs help. We need you. We need the good man to condemn those that are sexually abusing children, boys and girls, that are using women now and trafficking women. And this has been going on for years. It's called modern day slavery. I don't call it modern day slavery. I call it a continued slavery. There's nothing modern about what's happening. It just never stopped. So women, I would like to say that if we are going to be standing on this earth to change what's happening, because apparently what I'm watching is that God has given, and I wouldn't say God gave man the opportunity to manage the world. No, he gave men and women to manage the world. You understand? And the problem is that oftentimes we are so ashamed of ourselves as women, where we came from, the things that we had to do in order to survive. Don't be ashamed. Keep moving. Keep moving. When I look at my women in the Caribbean, keep moving. In Latin America, keep moving. In Africa, keep moving. In Australia, all over the world, my Indian women from East India, I know you're suffering, but I need us all to get together. This is the mentality that we have to change. The mentality that you are Indian woman, and I'm a black woman, and that's an Asian woman, and that's a white woman. Women all need to come together and fix the world, manage the world. That's what we need to do. We need to manage what man could not do. We couldn't vote. You know, when you get a divorce back then, you didn't get anything. I mean, there's so many things, so many negative things that have happened to us for centuries. And you know what? We are still damn standing. We are still standing. We are still standing to the point where, and I always say this because I've been through it. You have an argument in your home and you're in pain and you're depressed and you walk into that job and you act as though nothing is happening. You give that smile. Hi, good morning. How you doing? And we work for 8 hours and we come back home to the same problem over and over, but we're standing. Tell me that God didn't build. He built us to endure what we are going through, but also he built us to lead, to manage, to conquer, to fight whatever come our way. So I am leaving this message with you tonight. I promise my sister Karen that I will come on and encourage women in the world. Thank you, Karen. I love you. And I love all my sisters in the world. I want all of you to stand. All what you are going through, those of you, and I know this is happening, those of you that are contemplating to commit suicide, don't do it. Don't do it. And I am not ashamed to say, years ago, due to the pain I was going through, all the different pains I was going through, I did contemplate it to hurt myself. And look at me today. I'm an example of resilience. I'm an example of courage. I'm an example that when God creates a woman, he creates her with everything necessary that she needs in order to build, in order to conquer, in order to do all the things that he meant for me to do. And I am not going to ever give up. I am going to speak and speak until God is ready for me. But I'm going to always encourage my women and also encourage men. Thank you. This is Dr. Melody Harris Barrow. I'm the author of Unveiling the Illusion. You can purchase my book on Amazon.com. Thank you, and I love you all.